Hello and welcome back to Epic Bakes. Today we are baking these epic Kinder chocolate cookies. They are super easy to make and you will love these super chewy chocolatey cookies. Who doesn't love Kinder chocolate, right? And in cookies, let me tell you, they are a match made in heaven, so let's get into it. In today's bake, you need the following ingredients, but remember guys, you can find the full list and measurements in the description under the video. First of all, you'll need some Kinder chocolate bars. You can use as many as you'd like. I've used a box of Kinder chocolate mini bars for this one. You'll also need plain flour, 2 eggs, baking powder, salt, brown and white sugar, corn flour, butter, and a little bit of vanilla extract. As for the other things you're going to need, a set of kitchen scales, a chopping board and a sharp knife, a saucepan, some measuring spoons if you have them, or you can use just teaspoons and tablespoons, and you will also need a mixing bowl. As you can see, I'm starting with chopping my Kinder chocolate bars. What I'm doing is cutting each bar in half up the middle and then breaking them up so that they are a little bit bigger than the chocolate chunks you would get out of the packet from the baking section of your local store. You can always cut them bigger or smaller depending on what you like. I'll then put the Kinder chocolate pieces aside, ready to be mixed into the cookie dough later on. Okay, so now you need your scales and a mixing bowl. Make sure you zero the scales before you start. I'm measuring out 280 grams of flour into the bowl. To that flour, you want to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder just in the middle of the bowl. I'm then adding corn flour to the mix. This is my secret ingredient, which gives the cookies that extra chewy texture. About 1.5 teaspoons should do it. Then we add half a teaspoon of salt. Salt is great as it brings out all the flavors within your cookies. Mix all the dry ingredients together with a spoon so they're all combined. So now we need to get our saucepan and measure out the butter. Reset your kitchen scales to 0 after you put the saucepan on top. We need 170 grams of unsalted butter. What you can do is cut the butter up into smaller chunks so it's quicker to melt. Make sure you stir it from time to time. You can also use the microwave to melt your butter instead of a saucepan. Time needed to melt the butter will be different depending on your microwave strength, so just watch the butter and turn it off when it's melted. While that's melting, I'm cracking the eggs. You will need 1 whole large egg and 1 egg yolk. I've used 2 small dishes to make it easier to separate the egg. You can use the remaining egg white to make some meringues later on, so check out my other videos for some epic meringue ideas. You'll now need a mixing bowl big enough to combine all your ingredients as we are about to make the cookie dough. As always, remember to reset your scale to 0 and measure out 150 grams of light or dark brown sugar, whichever you'd prefer. I find that light brown sugar will enhance your cookies with a delicious caramelized flavor, whereas dark brown is a bit more intense. I'm using light brown for these as I want the Kinder chocolate taste to be the main flavor to pull out in these cookies. To that, you want to add in 100 grams of normal white sugar. Your butter should be melted by now. I always leave the butter to slightly cool for around a minute so that it isn't too hot when combining with the eggs later on. Firstly, let's add the melted butter directly into the sugar. You want to then whisk the butter and sugar together until you get a creamy consistency. As you will see, the consistency and texture changes as the sugar melts with the butter. This is quite hard work and takes a bit of time, so we'll speed this bit up. As you can see, you are eventually left with this almost velvet-like consistency of the butter sugar mix, and the color of the mixture is much lighter than at the beginning. Add in the eggs and then whisk into smooth consistency. For best results, always use room temperature eggs to make sure there's no big temperature difference between the cold eggs and hot butter. This is a top tip to make sure that your cookie dough doesn't end up being lumpy. We are then going to add some vanilla extract. I added 1 teaspoon, but you can add another one if you like a more intense vanilla flavor. Make sure you mix the vanilla and the eggs in well with the sugar and butter before you move on to the next step. This is the consistency you're looking for when it's all nicely mixed together, so we are now ready to go ahead and add it to dry ingredients. You will now need your dry ingredients you prepared at the start. Create a little well in the middle of the flour and then pour in your butter and sugar mix. Remember, always to add wet ingredients into dry ingredients. What you want to do here is use a spoon and gently and slowly fold this mix together till there is no white flour showing. As you can see, once your mix looks like this, it's perfect. Classic cookie dough. Now, time to add that Kinder chocolate. And remember, always keep a few bits back, as these will be used for decoration. Fold the chocolate into the cookie mix till the chocolate is evenly spaced throughout the cookie dough. Cover with cling film and put in the fridge to cool down for at least 2 hours. Ideally though, you want to leave this overnight so that all the flavors can combine and cookies stay nice and thick when baked. After the cookie dough has been left to chill, you're now ready to start shaping the cookies. I use an ice cream scoop for this bit because, as you can see, the dough is really firm, which is perfect. The scoop is also great for portioning and sizing your mix. Take a scoop and then in your hands mold the cookies into balls. Evenly spread them out on a baking tray lined with some greaseproof paper. I'm then taking some more Kinder chocolate I've set aside, as you can never have too much. I'm putting 2 bits of Kinder chocolate into the middle of each cookie bowl to melt during the bake and cover my cookies. And that's it! Bake the cookies for 12 minutes in preheated oven at 160 degrees. The cookies will look very soft and underbaked, but don't worry, they will continue to bake on the baking sheet once removed from the oven. Let them cool down for 10 minutes on the baking sheet before moving to a wire rack to cool completely. These cookies stay fresh covered at room temperature for up to 1 week. hope you enjoy these cookies as much as I do. Please do leave a comment down below and let me know how you got on. I look forward to sharing more epic bakes with you in the next video, so remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.